We continue this week to look at the 6 things that God hates from Proverbs chapter 6. And we find that he hates those whose heart and mind is always plotting some evil. Good morning. This is Pastor Ernie Lewis of the Blue Point Church in Sisseton, Illinois, with your thoughts for Thursday. You know, we should learn with a spiritually minded head and heart to hate those things which God hates. He says them in Proverbs chapter 6. Some are even an abomination to him. And he lists them here by saying, these 6 things the Lord hates. Yes, 7 are an abomination to him. A proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, and a heart that devises wicked plans. You know, we can see how these first 3 actions are very visible, maybe even easy to detect. It's often easy to see a proud look in a person whenever they are not seeking after God. It's easy to recognize a lying tongue. It'll be detected sooner or later because those lies seem to snowball sometimes, and the things that they tell, try to deceive others or promote themselves will be well known. Well, the hands that shed innocent blood will one day show themselves out in public. But I shudder to think of the heart that devises wicked plans. First of all, there is the sinful nature within man that may seem to plot some plans of his own to get away with sin in their life. I mean, after all, if you look back at the Old Testament, Satan tried to tell Eve that God isn't really serious about judging sin. And he tried to convince her. He will also try to convince us that we can get away with those things if we plot a sinful path for our lives. He may begin by making us covetous of things in this world. That became the downfall of men like Achan in Joshua chapter 7, who took the spoils from the city of Jericho, even though it was against God's explicit orders, and he and his family were judged because of it. It also ruined a man named Gehazi, who was the servant of Elisha in 2 Kings chapter 5, who went and took some silver and some garments from Naaman and ended up suffering from leprosy the rest of his life, even though he had seen God provide miraculously for them over and over. Covetousness destroys a person. Or maybe Satan will make us envious of others, which will cause us to plot a plan to bring them down, or maybe make them look bad in the eyes of others, or somehow to maybe even lift ourselves up. That heart that devises wicked plans most often devises them against other people. What can I do to bring down the person who is highly recognized for their faithfulness or their unselfish labor for God and the church? The Bible tells us in Jeremiah 17 and verse 9, the heart is deceitful and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I think it should warn us today, let's be on the lookout even for my own heart. Make sure that it is not our heart that is devising these wicked plans. Whether the plan is for us to get away with some sin or maybe even to destroy another person. Let's pray that God will help us to be able to detect those things and to hate that divisive plan and that heart that makes it just as much as God does.